Hello and welcome back to Gabo Sports. Obviously, we've been a bit inconsistent recently with our recording, but hopefully from now on in, we're going to make it a bit more consistent. And I'm here to introduce a new debutant, Mr. Zain. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Good evening. Thanks for having me on. My name is Zain, Arsenal Football Club supporter. I like to say I'm a logical, humble supporter, but some will link me to other fans, and I want to dismiss any of those comparisons if any of them ever arise. But yeah, man, let's
Some,
talk
some
football,
would
man.
say
I'm here for it.
he's a toxically positive fan, but we'll see
Mm,
how it goes.
potentially, yeah.
But yeah, Zain, obviously, I wanted to bring you on so we could start with the bad news as Arsenal fans,
Mm,
and that is Chelsea winning the Club World Cup. We watched that together.
hmm
It was a bit of a non-starter. Chelsea were all over them from the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you know what? One question I want to ask you: do you think, after watching that and after watching what you've seen of Chelsea in this competition,
Mm,
that they are serious with the new signings that they've made for the upcoming season?
Well, let's go over their signings. So they had João Pedro who played the game. The Lap made an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
The midfield was who was it? Caicedo, Palmer,
Enzo,
and Enzo.
Palmer
Palmer
played
played
on
off
the
the right.
right.
Mm.
Who was in their midfield again? I think did they play two in midfield? Did they play Caicedo and Enzo? That's it.
So
Can't.
what formation? Because they
Oh,
had like a
James.
five.
Reece James
James
played in midfield. Yeah,
tucked
Reece
in.
James.
So that team wasn't too new, was it? It was just João Pedro
Yeah,
really in the run up,
yeah.
the lineup. I'm a
They've brought
believer.
in Gittins as well on the left wing.
Mm. He didn't play though,
Um,
did he?
no, he didn't play.
He didn't play.
Uh,
Only Pedro and Delap from the new signings, I believe.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, look, I think styles make matchups, and I think we got also we have to obviously give Chelsea credit for the way they played. But I do
Hmm.
think, they had a quite a fresh run in. PSG playing the same team for like what 60, 70 appearances this season.
Yeah.
Chelsea set up really well. They done their homework. They hit that long ball for out, and they really exposed their left back. Mendes, no, it wasn't Mendes, was it?
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah,
was Mendes.
Mendes. And I think Mendes did kind of get worked a bit with Sanchez, who actually played really well. I think he was shout for man of the match, to be honest.
Bro,
Amazing saves, great distro. I mean, look, sometimes that just happens, isn't it? Like some teams just play better against other teams, and they
yeah,
set
yeah.
up really well. I think it's too early to say Chelsea or anything super serious. We've got to see how that goes. But what is this the second year under Maresca now or
This
third?
yeah, them coming into this season will be their second. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, look, they stuck with him. I think he's a decent coach. We'll have to
Hmm.
see how far it goes, though. I'm not willing to put my hat on it to say that Chelsea are like serious, but they can definitely compete and take points off the big boys,
Yeah.
and they'll make it interesting. I think that's what I could say for Chelsea. They'll make it
I mean,
interesting.
yeah, definitely. I mean, bro, you know that they're not done by any means in the
Mm.
transfer window, so they're probably going to spend a shitload more money.
Who would
So
they get? Do you think?
apparently, yeah, obviously this is just forecasting
Transfer
what we're
talk.
going to be speaking about, but
Mm.
they made a play for Isak a month ago, but
Mm. I don't think
Isak's
Isak would want to go there.
yeah, Isak's representative told them basically like piss off, we're not trying to go there.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got I don't know they got to sign some centre backs. I don't know after that final if they're going to replace Sanchez. I doubt it because the rumors were the rumors early on were they wanted Mike Magnon from AC Milan, but that didn't
Mm.
go through.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. Chelsea usually just sign these unknown like wonder kids. They also got
Yeah.
that Estavo kid coming through, that wonder kid, that new Neymar on the right wing. So
Palermas, is it?
yeah,
Palermas or
yeah,
something like
that's
that.
it. Very much, yeah.
And they had Andrea Santos who played a bit.
Oh yeah, of
He's meant
course,
to
yeah.
be
They've
he's
got
meant to
him.
be serious. Yeah, he got an
Yeah,
appearance, I think. Um,
yeah.
we'll see. Like you say, man, they like signing these gems, but I feel
Hmm.
like that's mainly just to spin the transfers and make money. How
Hmm.
many of them get actually appearances and break through the team is something else. I mean, if
Yeah,
they keep a steady team and they build on that, that's probably better for them. They don't want to change up the face too much. The centre
yeah.
backs, who they go in? They played with who's lined up for them that
Chalobah
game?
and Colwell.
Yeah, exactly, Chalobah and Colwell. And I think Colwell's a good player. I think he's finding his feet now.
Yeah.
But I don't think Chalobah's there. I don't really think he's the answer for them long term. So they probably want to
Mhm.
upgrade on him if they want to be
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I mean, yeah, man. I think that's enough talking about
Chelsea talk.
Chelsea. Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
gonna
let's
talk
leave
too
it
much
there.
about them. I think we gotta talk about the biggest story of the day, and that is Liverpool's interest in Alexander Isak. And obviously, as
Mm,
Arsenal fans, that directly impacts us.
yeah,
So yeah,
stings
man,
just
what's
to
what's
hear
your
it.
thoughts? What's your thoughts? Do you
Well,
think
I
it'll
had a read
happen?
up. Well, I had a read up on Ornstein. I mean, the indications he's given is Liverpool inquiring, and they kind of know that it's not really going to happen. From what if I'm reading the tea leaves, but I don't think Newcastle would sell. I don't. I think they've made that flat clear. I don't think they want to sell to another Northern team. I don't know if Isak would want to go. I mean, he would want to go Liverpool or Arsenal or any other top club, City, but coughing up 120, coughing up 150. I don't know if that's really what they want. If it's money. I
Yeah,
mean, they're going for what's his name, Etikite, but I think they've said it quite clearly. They want them both to work together. So
yeah,
who knows? Maybe next year Isak can move, but
yeah.
depends how much Liverpool want to push it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but there's so much around this story I want to talk about because
Mm,
obviously it involves Arsenal as well. Because obviously we've had long-term interest in Isak as well,
mm,
and Liverpool are like our direct rivals when it comes to the title.
yes.
Um, Bro, first of all, speaking like touching on what you were saying, I just don't see with Isak having 3 years left on his contract, so his contract runs out in 2028
Mm,
and Ornstein's reporting around 120 million pounds. Yeah, bro,
yeah.
how can how can how can Newcastle even entertain selling him for that type of money? Yeah, when
Mm,
players like Verts went for 116. I know he's a highly rated midfielder. He's done his thing in Germany and whatever,
mm,
but bro, that's the price of a nine in the Premier League. You're selling it to another direct Premier League quote unquote rivals in terms of Newcastle and
top
Liverpool.
six or yeah.
Yeah. Um, Caicedo went for 115. That's a CDM. Rice went
Mm,
105. Isak has a large amount of suitors. If they keep him this season, they can still sell him for that plus more next season. There's still going to be a
easily.
large amount of suitors interested in him. So I don't
Mm,
believe that 120 million pound price tag is accurate at all. I don't think they'll even entertain it
mm,
unless it begins with 150, bro. I
yeah.
genuinely don't believe. Why would they sell? I don't understand it. And if they do sell, this is where I want to bring Arsenal into it. Yeah. And that's a
Mm,
big if. Yeah. I cannot believe, we didn't even give it a shot, bro. Like, how
mm,
can we not try? Bro, that's the price of Gyökeres and Madueke, like around that, the ballpark of that type of money, yeah? Bro,
mm,
just like dash it on Isak. He's like guaranteed bang. Like, you're literally favorite
easily.
for the
Mm,
for the title if we sign him, bro.
mm. But
Yeah,
I think
man.
you've said it there, Aboody. I don't think 120 actually. I think lets them enter the room, so to speak.
Yeah,
I think it's something that this starts negotiations or starts a conversation because it means that they're serious and they're not taking the piss. And I
yeah,
think Liverpool will probably just rebuff that and say, no, he's not for sale. Sorry, Newcastle even would say, look, he's not for sale. But I think what it means is like, okay, maybe they're ideally looking for a bidding war if they're trying to sell. Because if they say 120 and then they say reject it, no, and then Liverpool go back and say 150, that gets other suitors involved. That gets people saying, oh, you know what, there's something going on. There's a conversation. Let's enter that channel of talks. And what would Newcastle want more than anything if they want to sell is a bidding war.
yeah,
Now, I don't think. Let's assume that Arsenal's organisation is now competent with Berta at the helm in terms of transfers and whatnot, and there's obviously the surrounding people on the board and even the management level. I don't think that they haven't even explored the avenue. And I would think that they've actually spoken to the representatives and said, what's going on? Is there a place there? Are you looking for something? And they've probably been told no. But if they've been told no and no figures, they've probably not chased it too hard. and they're probably saying we're not going to waste our time. I mean, what Bert's strategy looks like is it looks like he opens a lot of channels of conversations of transfers up at the same time, parallel to each other, as opposed to Edu, who's doing allegedly one thing at a time. So I think if Liverpool do open those talks and there's some conversation there, I think other people get involved, and I think Arsenal will be involved in that too. But I feel like Newcastle will just string them along, waste their time, and I don't think it will go anywhere personally. I don't think they're going to try to sell him.
Yeah. The only thing is, this is another scenario. Yeah? I'm thinking as if I was like the chairman of Newcastle, or the owners of Newcastle, I'd think to myself, listen, do we keep Isak this year? Because it doesn't look like they can keep Isak and fend off Liverpool when it comes to Ekitike. It feels like it's one or the other. So they
Mm,
either get Ekitike and sell Isak, or they let Liverpool have Ekitike and then they keep Isak. So
mm,
I would be thinking, okay, I keep Isak. If I keep Isak for one more year, yeah,
mm,
and then Liverpool get Ekitike, and then say maybe I don't know, an Arsenal come in for Isak next season, or a Barcelona or a Real Madrid, and he gets sold. More likely than not, he'll leave next year.
mm.
Then what are they left with? Because their number one, because they've been chasing Ekitike for a few years now. They've been interested in him anyways.
Newcastle.
So, yeah.
Mm,
So he was their target before Isak, to be honest, from what I remember. Um,
really? Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I would be thinking if I was the Newcastle owner, I'd be thinking. So if I let Ekitike go this summer, then I sell Isak next summer. What are we left with? Type thing. So
Mm,
I don't know. What do you think? Would you, if you were the Newcastle owners, would you
mm,
would you just sell him, bank, like get the one, then what the record fee of whatever it may be, 130, 140, 150, and then buy
mm.
Ekitike, or would you say, you know what, this guy is too good to just let go? He's one in a generation type striker. We got to
Yeah.
keep him and roll the dice and see what players pop up next year.
Well, he's definitely up there when he's fit. I mean, Isak, without a doubt, he's a joy to watch, and he just
Yeah,
skins guys. He scores amazing goals. He moves. He's languid. We love his style of play. I think if I was Newcastle, and I think what they would probably be planning is to get Etikite or
yeah,
Ekitike. I don't know how you say his name, Etikite or the
yeah,
other way. And I think they would buy him. They'd make him work alongside Isak. They would build that sort of front two or that kind of, interchanging play or, get him off the bench, build him up, see how he goes. I think if he's a success and he actually, fits in the system pretty well, they'll probably be more open to selling Isak the following year because they'd have a replacement for him. And he is in that style as well, from what I've seen. And then maybe,
But
like you say, in the following year,
but
Real
do you
Madrid,
think,
Barca,
but do you think they could land Ekitike if they keep Isak? What if he goes to Liverpool? What if,
he goes
because
to
that's
Liverpool,
what
they
they're
know
saying.
Isak is safe. Or they know they'll have suitors next year. They'll buy someone else, surely. They'll find the money somewhere. I
So
mean, who
so
knows? Even maybe Sesko, they'll go for Sesko even.
yeah. So you would keep him and not risk like taking, because what I'm saying is, if they sell him, they know for sure, if what the scouts are saying, this guy is next up, Mr.
Mm,
Ekitike, whatever his name is,
mm.
they have the guy that's next up. But if they don't, and he goes to Liverpool, and then Isak also goes the following season, they're left with nobody. Would you still roll the dice on that type of thing?
Well, it depends on their ambitions. I feel like Newcastle, did they make champs this year?
Yeah, yeah, they made champs. Yeah.
They made champs, so they're going to want to keep Isak, definitely. And they want to probably stay in that competition and make it again next year. And
Mhm.
keeping Isak is probably going to guarantee that to some level. Or give them a high probability of staying in the competition and qualifying for next year. So I think what they will do is definitely keep Isak, probably tell him something like a little handshake, where like an agreement. Listen, if we sign Itakite or some sort of striker, we keep you in, we make champs again, and if a suitable offer comes for you next year, you have our blessing and you can go. And I think that's probably the way they want to play it because you bet in a player, you still have the guaranteed striker in Isak, and you get a player up to speed in Newcastle and how it's like. He learns from him. They see if he's quality, if he's not, if he's a dud or whatever. And then the next season, like you say, you're gonna have suitors. People have already spent money this window. There's still some moves to happen. It's still quite early, isn't it? It's still July. Most big moves probably happen in the last few weeks of August. I don't see Real Madrid selling anyone probably until August anyway. Rodrigo or anyone else they're interested in selling. And then, but let's just say they do that. The following year, I think they'll probably open it up and say, Barca, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Liverpool, have a bid and we'll have at it. Especially if they know that in the early part of next season's window, they can probably drive up that price nice and early and get a lot of
Yeah.
teams to focus on it. So I feel like that's probably the way they'd go about it.
Yeah. I mean, bruv, I hope for our sake that Newcastle will just stay resolute and keep him, bruv. Tell Liverpool to piss off, bruv. We ain't trying to. Bro, if they get Isak, it's so long, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying to see him in Liverpool, man. That'll make them disgusting. Like we wouldn't even want to play them, man. It'd be insane.
Yeah, literally, bruv.
Yeah.
Now coming back to a place that's closer to our hearts.
Mm,
Already touched on them a bit, but Arsenal.
mm,
I
mm.
think they're saying this is the most transfers we've made this early on in the window. So I think we've made 6. I think it's Kepa,
Yeah.
Musquera, Norgard,
Yeah.
Zubimendi, Madueke,
And
and
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres. And I want to start with because we haven't really touched on it on Gabos at all, to be
Mm,
honest, apart from a little TikTok.
mm.
I want to get your opinion on probably the most controversial signing of the transfer window, and that is Noni Madueke. What are your thoughts on that signing?
Okay, I'll touch on the price tag first of all. So around 50 million pounds sterling. I think obviously that price tag is, including Premier League and rival tax, and given also it's a winger position, yeah, which is low. So, not that many numbers. And any winger you probably sign is going to be around that, or if not more, right? I mean, look at Diaz. I don't rate Diaz highly, and they're asking for 75 mil or something, and they got offered 70 and they rejected, right?
They're
And
asking for
I mean,
100 million euros.
that's what they off exactly. That's what they're demanding. Madueke, his stats. I mean, if you look at them, they look decent in context. Probably less so. He's a left-footed player, plays off the right. Has played some appearances, not many on the left as well. To play a bit more direct. I think personally, the reason why we've gone for it is because A, Arteta likes to sign Premier League players if possible. B, he thinks he's moldable. He is 23 years old.
Yeah.
And 3, we need direct players, and he is a chaotic sort of direct player. And 4, actually, he's also going to give. I would say not really. I say competition in loose way, but really he's just there to fight minutes and get minutes on the right side. We look at our bench last season when Saka wasn't fit, or even when he was fit. We had players like Butler, Adeji, like Trossard was our only winger really, and we had so many youth players on our bench. We just did not have depth.
Yeah.
So if you go away and sign a player for around 40, 50 mil and he's got Premier League experience and he can do some sort of job, it's not that bad in context. And I'm taking it that the fact that they're spending money on him means there's still money in the pot for more important signings. So I think if you take it like that holistically, it's a good signing for the club if he does, if he contributes. And I think he gives us another option. I think that's what's important. We definitely we need depth as well. I don't like the fact we're signing from Chelsea. I think we could have done something else. And obviously we're helping out, their purse strings there. But if the scouting network looks at it and the stats in depth and they've said, you know what, he can work and he gives us something we don't have. He's got pace, he's explosive, he's got direct play. We don't have enough of that. Martinelli is our direct winger. Saka and Martinelli doesn't do enough. And Madueke, when I've seen him, I'll be honest, for me, and you've heard me say this, I've liked him on the way he plays. I know he's a bit brain dead at times. His IQ is not the highest in terms of that, but I think that's moldable. I think he can do better. I think in a system where he can shine, we can see more from him. So I'm not excited by the signing. I don't think it's an amazing signing, but I think in the grand scheme of things, helping out the team, I think it could be an okay signing in that depth, in that
Yeah.
in that in that viewpoint. What's your opinion on it? What do you think?
Bro, for me, the main thing is, yeah, you touched upon it, and that's, bro. It's like, how many seasons is it now that we've been signing at least one player from Chelsea? I thought this window's player from Chelsea, our
Yeah,
quota, Pepper. I was like, you know what,
yeah,
5 M's backup goalkeeper. I'm not gonna make a
that's a
big
good
deal.
signing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is what it is. But bro, when this news broke, I genuinely was like, I was telling people, I'll cut off my left arm if this goes through. There's no way we're signing fucking Noni Madueke from Chelsea and giving them £50 million.
I'm still seeing
But
that left arm there, man.
yeah, but
But
anyways,
yeah.
oh, um, look, when it
Oh,
as time goes by,
so
don't get me.
what? Wait. You saying that because you think we've signed duds from Chelsea, or you think supporting Chelsea, or what do you think about that?
I think okay, obviously, bro, we signed the majority of our players that we signed from them have just it's like one way street. They get the good. Every player they get from us turns out to be fantastic. I think every player we
Mm,
get from them, barring maybe a few, they've had some of them have the okay careers at Arsenal. Havertz
yeah.
is the most notable and most expensive of the lot. I
Mm.
mean, jury's still out. So far, I would say he's been okay. I
I
think.
think he's been a success in that sense, in terms of being a striker for us. I mean, that was the first game he played for us under Arteta in the Community Shield. He did play as a striker. I know there was a debate about whether he was signed as a 10 or a cam even or a
Yeah,
9, but he's obviously found his feet at 9. Um, I feel like he's more of a 7, maybe pushing just about higher than that, maybe, as opposed to a dud. But also, we have to take in consideration who have we made to him to sell directly? We haven't sold. Have we sold anyone to him directly?
Giroud
Hutchinson and Giroud. And Giroud
and
obviously
Havertz,
was very
and
successful.
obviously the most famous one is Ashley Cole in it.
Yeah, true, back in the day. But in terms
Yeah.
of who we got from them, we've had Willian,
Mhm.
who didn't work out, but he left he cut off his contract without making it hard, to be fair to him. We had Jorginho, who actually done his bit and he was
He
relatively
was
cheap
okay.
in
Yeah.
recent.
He was
He
alright.
was good. I think for what we paid, he did his job. We had
Mhm.
David Luiz. Did he come directly
He's
from?
good.
Yeah, Luiz at that time he gave us a bit, but our team was in shambles anyway.
Mhm.
Kepa, 5 million. Probably you can't really say much about that.
Mhm.
Obviously Madueke right now, Havertz, and who else was it? Did we sign someone else?
Oh, obviously we want Sterling on loan, which is horrific.
Sterling
But
on loan. Yeah, but they paid most of it anyway, and he's
yeah.
gone back to them. So that wasn't really it was kind of a win-win, lose-lose situation. Doesn't really matter, I feel.
That one was nasty because, bro, that was we were dying for O, and it was our season to win, and then our only like attacking signing was Sterling on loan,
Sterling,
and
but that's more on the club, I think,
yeah, of
on
course, of
than
course,
than on. Yeah.
yeah. But
So I think overall, though, it hasn't been super negative. I feel like it's because it's Chelsea. Excuse me, but yeah, I think
yeah,
because it's Chelsea is what stings. But yeah, I think that we have to see what happens, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, look, bro. This is. I was gonna go on to say, listen. Obviously, the cons are it's from Chelsea. I don't like signing from Chelsea. I don't like these like narratives that Arsenal and Chelsea have good relations. Like, why do we have good relations with Chelsea? I don't want to ever hear that. Like, I want those
Mm,
relations to burn and crash, bro. But
yeah.
okay, that put that to the side. If I'm looking at Madueke just from a player's perspective, do I think he's worth 50 mil? No. Do I think he's a rubbish player? No. I think he's a good
Mm,
player. He's a decent player. I think he has room to grow, like you said. Um, I like the idea he would be a backup to Saka predominantly.
mm,
Um, but this signing, I can only like stomach it if Arsenal go on and sign a left-sided player. They cannot spend £50 million, yeah, and not go and sign something we've been dying for. You in particular, Zain, have been
mm,
saying even before the striker talk, you were
mm.
saying I would rather us. I know not this season, but I'm saying a few seasons back, you were saying I would rather us go get a left winger, a quality left winger, than a striker. So
Yeah.
even though maybe your views might have changed a bit, you still
Mm.
believe that a left winger is very important for
No,
Arsenal.
absolutely. You're right. I did say that. I said at the time when we had Havertz shooting it in at
Mhm.
times, and we got what we got from him at that season. I mean, he did have some good seasons too now,
Mhm.
but I think I did say like I said Martinelli is not up to scratch. He doesn't give us enough goal contributions, and he's not direct enough. He doesn't beat a man. Doesn't do enough. And we needed players who are direct and get us in the box and get penalties and get assists, get goals, can actually contribute to the team. And I thought Saka, Havertz, and a direct winger would actually have been enough. Like in last season, if we actually got that. Like personally, that's what I believed, and I still believe that would have been probably the case. It could have probably
Mhm.
drawn us over the line, though. Like we know, there weren't that many options in terms of that, and Madueke, he's definitely been signed for the right side. I don't think he's a left-sided player, what we signed him for. I don't think we're trying to do some left foot crossing in styles, although it could work with Gyökeres, big man up front potentially, and Havertz as well can actually do that. It can give us an option. I don't think that's the primary reason why we're signing him. But I do think, us being linked to Eze and Rodrigo does say, the signals are there to tell us that they obviously have that in mind. It might be contingent on making actual sales. Trossard being linked to Bayern and some other clubs. It looks like he's the one on the way out. Who knows? Maybe they sell both. Maybe they sell Martin if they get good feet. I definitely think though these 6 transfers we made, solid transfers, things we needed. And I think the next signing is definitely based off the sales we make. We have another month and a bit. I think the priority now is probably to get some players out before they get players in. So I think we'll probably see the club lean towards that. I think they'll try to get Trossard, Vieira, potentially Martinelli, one of the two wingers, Sambi Lokonga, all this deadwood we have, get them out. Anyone who's got some saleability, just sell them and make some money off that, Zinchenko, and then they're going to probably make the move for a winger. That's what I personally believe. But I agree with you. We can't go into next season without a left winger.
Do you think, obviously, we've been linked with Eze and Rodrigo? Obviously, there's a big debate online. Is it going to be both, or is it going to be either or? What do you think? And if you do think it's either or, who would you, if you were Arteta, Berta, who would you go for?
Well, Rodrigo is the big name that stands out, right? I mean, he hasn't played left wing in God knows how long. He's played almost 4 out of the 5 seasons on the right, really. He hasn't really had a chance to shine on the left. If you watch his comps and see, he's definitely got there. He can do it. I mean, he's been played out of position and kind of on a lock, really. He hasn't really been able to be free on the left wing. He's got more. He's got pedigree. That's the main thing, and he is a true winger compared to say Eze, right? Now, I don't think we'll do both because I think it's a lot of money. And again, it depends on our sales. If we sell, say, Trossard and Martinelli and all the deadwood already mentioned, then I don't see why not both. I think Eze fits that left mid kind of player more than a left winger. But we can always tuck him in and then have our left back kind of bomb forward a bit. Say he can work well with a Calafiori potentially, or some sort of even I suppose Miles. But I do kind of see him more as a midfielder. You know what I mean? And also if Rice is doing that role, I don't really see how that works unless we do push Eze quite out in terms of that left mid kind of role. But I would be happy with either. Eze can shoot the ball, he can pass, he can beat a man. He's got a lot of skills that work in any position on that side, on the left side. So I would be happy with either because they definitely raise the floor for us and the ceiling as a football club. But I think for me, Rodrigo would be the dream signing. I think definitely the player with pedigree, the player who can actually elevate us as a club.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you the same or?
Bro, you know what it is, yeah? Because we've been starved of O for so many years, bro, I want both. Now it is
Both.
coming into the transfer window. I didn't even think getting a midfielder, so Eze in this instance, was even like an option for us. I thought like if Eze wasn't floated about, I would have. If we got Rodrigo, Gyökeres, and Madueke, I would have been over. I'd be like, wow, yeah, that's amazing. But now there's mention of him, and obviously his story as well. Boyhood art, like he was at Arsenal, he got
Released,
released, and it's like we've kind of like flirted with him now, and it's like I just want it to happen. Like I know personally, if I had to choose, obviously I'm picking Rodrigo.
Yeah,
but bro,
he's a younger player as well.
If we got both of them, man, the thing, bro. Obviously, I know we got Nwaneri signing a new contract. That's another bit of big news.
Which is a good thing, actually. You talked about that. Yeah.
But bro, if we had Eze, who could rotate with Odegaard, he could also rotate with Rice, who could also rotate on the left, and we have Rodrigo, bro, and then we have Gyökeres, and then we have depth, bro. It's like I feel like we have everything we need to win a big thing now, like a major trophy. But yeah, man, I don't know. I guess maybe some people say I'm being greedy. but I
Mm.
just feel like
You're being ambitious. It's a fair thing to say. I
yeah,
mean, what was it? Say? He's on the 27 mark, right? Like age-wise, he's later, and then Rodrigo's obviously closer to Martinelli around 23. So
mhm,
he's definitely got the years on him. Um, I think Eze is doable. I don't know how many people are out there for him. I think maybe he's probably waiting for us if there's something there to be done. So I think that's probably something we parked up from the side, and we're gonna
mhm,
go for Rodrigo. I think we'll try to see in August how that works. You know, Real Madrid, they kind of like leave their sales a bit late. So let's see how that goes. And then maybe we go back for Eze. If both
mhm,
happen, that'd be amazing. I mean, you touched on Waneri, which I kind of forgot to mention when we talked about Madueke, because Waneri was getting minutes on the right. But I think there is a talk to kind of shift him and tuck him in a bit more on central side. But regardless, he'll still be given competition on the right. Um, Perhaps we'll see him also on the left, but I think we'll see Madueke more on the left than Waneri. I mean, look, if we had Rodrigo and Martinelli on the left, Gyökeres and Havertz, and then you have Saka and Madueke or Saka and Waneri. Let's say Madueke, then you got Odegaard and Waneri as his shadow, and then you have Rice in the left eight. Um,
Marino.
Good Marino, I suppose Marino, yeah. Or they can upgrade that with an Eze. And then of course you've got Zubimendi and Norgard. We've already got that would have two solid players in every position. So there's definitely space for Eze in that team to be an understudy almost for Rice. And then obviously Marino can float around two positions. We've got the left eight and the striker. He's got that under his belt now as well as a throw the dice kind of option if we really need it, or just
Mhm.
push a guy forward. But yeah, man, I think Rodrigo needs to be a priority. But again, like I said, I think it's going to be based off signings, and we have to see who do we value. I mean, I've told you before, if we sold Martinelli instead of Trossard, I wouldn't care. If we sold Trossard first, fair enough. It's just whoever we can get money for. If we're getting 30 million from Trossard, I don't see why that can't go in the kitty and then just make some money and then push all of that money towards Rodrigo because
Yeah.
it's doable. He's being pushed out. He hasn't got minutes. I think they're happy to sell him. I think he's accepted it as well. He's going to have suitors, so it's just about how serious we are.
No, for sure, man. That one's definitely
Mm,
got to be done.
yeah,
But yeah, moving on from Arsenal, I feel like we spent enough time on them.
yeah, fair enough.
I'm going to talk about our two main ops. um,
Go
who should
on.
we start with? We'll start with Tottenham because they've been a bit more. Well, they've been a lot more active than Man United this window.
Very good signings.
Obviously, they brought in Kudus, which is I think this is a position they've been looking for a while. He can play in the middle. He can play on the right.
Mm,
Um, he's a very good player, being consistent at times, but 30 signing. Then
yep.
there's the controversy around Gibbs White. So he had this secret release clause, but Nottingham Forest have done it's like I think I don't know they've done it like a legal complaint against them saying that it was illegal. I don't know what the
Oh, is it?
details of it
Mm.
are in
Well,
terms
what
of
is it? I
why.
haven't heard about that. What was it about?
So basically, no one knew about Gibbs White's £60 million release clause in his contract,
Mm,
and I think his agent must have leaked it to Tottenham, telling them,
mm.
"Listen, there's a £60 million release clause," and Forest are saying that there's been some sort of like illegal movement in
Back
regards
channel
to like,
talk.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
they've tapped him up or whatever, and that they should have come to Forest first, and that this transfer is void and they want him to stay. So there's a lot of commotion because Ornstein tweeted that the release clause has been activated. Tomorrow, like the next day, he was going to do his medical, and then
Mm,
the following day, when he was supposed to do his medical, Forest, the news broke that Forest have made this like legal dispute in terms of this
mm.
release clause, and now it's just stagnated. Like no one knows what's going on with that transfer.
It's up in the air now. Okay.
So
I thought
yeah,
it was a done deal, but I didn't know about that. So okay,
yeah,
so they have Kudus, potentially Morgan Gibbs White, Thomas
yeah.
Frank, which I think is probably their most
Oh
important
yeah,
signing. Honestly, I think that's a massive one. And then who else they're looking at? Wissa, is it? Or is that not really a thing?
yeah.
Is it
They are looking at Wissa, but apparently now even Forest are also looking at him. I don't know how
yeah.
that's
Have they made
going.
any other signings? I suppose.
They made this signing of this. I think he's a centre back from like Japan. His name's like Takai. I don't know if I'm butchering his name, but
Mm,
uh, yeah, that's That's all I know that they've made. I think those three signings. I can't think of any. I can't think of anyone else that they've assigned, to be honest.
Okay. Well, let's talk about them. I think for them, getting Thomas Frank is massive because I think I rate him highly. I know you rate him highly as a coach. He's very pragmatic. He can play long, he can play short. He makes his teams very compact, hard to beat. He's had some massive wins with Brentford away from home and at home. I mean, he's kept them in the league since coming up. I mean, he's a terrific manager. I think that's really going to elevate them as a club. I mean, what's his name? Ange. Ange was decent. He had only supposedly like basically one style, although he did actually show some sort of pragmatism in the final when he won it. So hats off to him. And he did say he can win a trophy in the second season. He did that. At least he can leave with some sort of pride. But Thomas Frank is a massive upgrade, and I think he's going to make them a much better team in terms of shape, in terms of the players and how they play, and probably keeping them fit. They have actually a decent base to start with, for being honest. They got some good players in there. Their
Mhm.
centre backs and their back line is pretty strong. Needs a bit more depth though. They probably need a few more fullbacks and
100.
definitely another centre back cover because they got some injury, like very injury prone players there. Although I would also put some blame that on Ange in terms of his style. Centre mid, they got some good players there. They got that guy, the Scandinavian dude, I think he is.
Bergvall,
Bergval, he's pretty good attacking wise. They got what's his name? Papa
Gray,
Sarr.
and Papa Son.
Gray, Archie Gray is a very versatile player. Morgan Gibbs White potentially being signed. I'm not sure who are the six. They have Basuma as well, so they actually have a very decent, supposedly on
From
paper.
Yeah, from what I heard, obviously Spurs have. I forgot this is a big thing as well.
Mm,
There's this rumor that they've had like PIF, the Saudi
mm,
corporation.
investment fund. Yeah,
They've give them a £300 sponsorship, and I think even their stadium is called PIF now or something. I don't know.
well, they still
Uh,
got naming rights. Okay.
yeah. So that's where they're
Mm,
getting all their money, and apparently there's going to be there's talks of American investors in Tottenham now. So
mm.
a big issue for them has been their six. Obviously, they got Bentancur, who's been not
Few
so
tough
great.
injuries on them.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's picked up a lot of injuries. Basuma's not been great. Apparently,
is
there's talks that he might even be sold. So apparently, these not nothing too strong, but there are some links to them getting Wharton, which would be a
and Watson's a
problem.
player. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is a player. You're right. You mentioned that. I think if they get him, that's a serious purchase if they get him in the six,
Mhm.
because he would control the midfield. He would make them very good.
Yeah.
Um, which obviously is good for Spurs, bad for everyone else because no one likes Spurs. But look, I think the funny thing is Thomas Frank hasn't really chased any players from Brentford. He hasn't kind of sought Mbeumo. He's gone for Kudus
Wissa was
instead.
the only one that they
Worcester,
haven't.
yeah, I suppose. But you'd think Mbeumo from the right, but they didn't go from there with Kudus
They
instead.
did. Sorry, you just reminded me. Actually, they actually tried to go for him early in the window, but
Oh,
Mbuemo said, "I don't want to go to anywhere. If I want to move, I'm going to Man United, and that's it."
okay, fair enough. And that's still ongoing, isn't it? I think there's
Yeah.
a massive gap in terms of valuation. So fair enough then. Okay, you corrected me on that. So he does rate his players then from Brentford, but I think if they back him and they sign some sturdy players, or like Wharton, for instance, then well done to Spurs. I think they would have been quite serious. They got a trophy in their bag now, so the cobwebs and all of that, they cleaned it up. They made the trophy room look nice for that one centerpiece, but. Uh, who knows? Who knows? Like how much further they can go. I don't see them being obviously title contenders. I think again they'll be a team that will take points off top teams. Um, you know, uh, I don't know what else to say about them really. If they sign players, they're going to be interesting to watch. An
We're not
interesting
trying to
team.
talk about Tottenham too much. They're
Too
still
much,
got.
yeah. We give them some props. They can have
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
move on quickly before our viewers. Um,
Manchester United
and yeah, finally, the non-news slash
team.
news
Mm,
Man United. They've,
mm,
bro, I don't even know where to start. It's absolute shit show at Man United. From the players that they're trying to get out, they have Rashford,
yep.
Sancho,
Mm,
Anthony, Hoyland, uh, bruv. I've
Bunch of
lost.
deadwood, high
Yeah,
cost, high wages, shit club, shit team, shit manager.
literally,
Long
bro.
may it continue, man. That's all I can say. Honestly,
Literally,
man, let them
bro.
suffer.
Bro, they have. I think they signed Cunha, which was, by the way, which was announced before the Europa League final. Even
Mm,
since then, they've been chasing after Mbuemo for God knows how long. And to be honest, Brentford are well within their rights because Mbuemo, I think he's 25. He scored 20 league goals in the
he was,
in the
yeah,
season that
outstanding
just went
season.
by. Yeah,
Mm,
bro. They if they look at the market, if they say to Man United, if you look at the market at the right wingers that have been sold, Madueke, who got what 7, 8 league goals, yeah,
yep,
he went for £52 million.
yep.
Elanga, who scored less, I think, even than that, he went for 55 million. Yeah, how are you coming to us with £62 million with add-ons, by the way, including add-ons, for a guy that scored 20 league goals last season, and he's
He's
25
quite
years
young.
old,
Yeah, yeah.
and
No,
they're asking £70 million. Yeah, and okay, last year
I
was
think
his
that's a fair
standout.
price.
Yeah, last year was a standout season, but Mbeumo
Yeah,
was still putting up decent numbers
it
before that. It
was, it
wasn't.
was.
It
Yeah.
wasn't like he was just a one season wonder. Like he was doing his
No.
thing. So
He definitely improved in the last season without Tony, or the season
mhm,
before that even. He's definitely filled that void, the gap that they had in the team. He took up the responsibility. He's improved his numbers, his decision making, which was I think was a big question mark on him. He's definitely improved that a lot. Worked well with Wissa, very mobile forwards. I think look, if they're asking for 70, I think that's still a bargain for a team that wants a winger, or who needs a player who's actually going to improve them. And a team like Manchester United should be coughing up, man. They spend dead money on dead players, and this guy's a
literally,
proven player in the Premier League. Of course, they're going to negotiate, but they look like they're doing the strategy of negotiating one player at a time. I don't know. I don't understand why they're not doing more transfers, or at least exploring more transfers at the same time. I mean, they probably maybe want to sell before they buy because they have a lot of issue on that, and I think that's probably where the stumbling block is. They definitely need to get Rashford's not moving to Barca or whether it was meant to be. And like you said, you already mentioned players like Anthony and whoever else they have. Mainly, I don't even know if they want to keep him anymore. They got so many players. Sancho, they got so many players
Garnacho
on the
is another
books.
one as well. That's the
Garnacho,
yeah.
who again, Garnacho, I don't even think is a bad player. I think he's done well for Manchester United, and I think
He's
anyone
linked to
who's played at
Chelsea
Manchester,
again, by the way.
oh, is
Today.
he?
Yeah,
I don't
I swear.
look personally. Any player who's at Manchester United who can get 5 goals or more is really doing way better than anyone else can do. I'm not even joking, bro. Like playing at United
Yeah,
takes 10 goals off your game and 5 assists off your game. Like it's like a
sure, yeah.
massive handicap. So anyone who's performing there at some decent level, you have to give them more credit than they
Mm,
actually get. That's the way I see it. So I know United are shit, man. That's the main thing. They're just a
yeah.
rubbish team, and they're awful organization. They're not run well, and
Bro, they genuinely. I think they've regressed since the takeover. Like,
yeah.
bro, it's such a shit show over there,
Mm.
bro. Like even look, I'm one of Garnacho's biggest critics, but I can't even dispute what you're saying in terms of he's probably better than what they're making out, like what he's been producing at Man United. Because bro, look at McTominay. He went and I think he was player of the year in the Serie A, bro. He
Yeah,
won
he
the
won.
league
Did
with
they not win?
Napoli.
Yeah, they won the
Yeah,
league exactly.
yeah. Um,
Elanga done much better
Elanga,
when he
yeah,
left.
bro. So many players. Anthony went off briefly and ripped it up at
Yes.
Betis. Like,
I wouldn't say
bro,
ripped out, but he did all right.
yeah, yeah, okay.
But
He's
you're
done his
right. Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
comparatively, yeah.
But bro, Hoyland apparently had strong interest in him in the beginning of this window. Today it comes out that they've told Man United we're not interested anymore.
Mm,
Because I don't know, I,
rubbish.
I don't know what they're doing in regards to these negotiations, but it's clearly not working, bro.
Mm.
Bro, they're going to preseason the same time as us, basically. I think next week they fly out, or this week on the weekend they fly out to wherever the hell they're going. They've got
Do we play
Cunha.
them? Do we play them or not?
I don't think we're
We're
playing
playing
them.
Milan. Are we playing Milan in an English team, or
Yeah, we're
am I
playing
getting that wrong?
Milan. I think we're playing Liverpool. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Or it might be a Spanish club. We're playing that in
Yeah,
China or something, isn't it?
yeah. But bro,
Mm.
in terms of their signings, today it's come out that they're interested in Jackson.
Which is not a bad
Yeah,
play. But the
but for
problem
where they
is,
are,
yeah, for
sorry,
where
go
they
on.
are, their system. Sorry for their system, the way the team is structured. I mean, who's coaching United right now? I actually forgot. Who's it?
Amarim. They changed managers
Amrin.
so much that you think,
Bro,
fuck.
Amarin, I mean Amarin, I don't even know if he knows what he's doing. To be, I mean, come on, bro. Like I heard people saying Ten Hag is better than Amarin, and they missed him, and Ten Hag was clueless, bro. This guy couldn't even speak English. So I don't even know what to say about that. That just says a lot, bro. And they lost to Spurs in the final. I mean, that
Bro,
itself is a sin. That's a cardinal sin, bro. I don't even know what to say about you, man. United. I can cuss them up, but I don't. I'm trying to put on a constructive
no,
hat
cuss
here. Yeah.
them, bro. They deserve
No,
to be cussed. Bro,
they
even Man
do. They
United
do.
fans cuss them.
But I
Bro,
pity them. That's the worst. That's the thing that I'm
yeah,
doing them.
that's actually
I pity
fun.
them. I actually pity them, and that's gonna be more hurtful for any United fan to hear. Like if you speak to Hussey, Man United fan, and Gabos talks sport, our Gabos correspondent, he obviously gets hurt and he knows what it's like. Like he would just say the same thing. Like whatever we're saying, he would just parrot that and say, "No, you're saying it smack on the head, bro." He wouldn't. I don't think he'd go as far to say Amrin's like a shit coach, like I was saying. But I don't
Bro,
think
he
he's.
could.
I don't think.
And I think he's retracted his statement, but post that Europa League final, he wanted his head. He called for him
Mm,
out, by the way. He's
and
like,
I
I
wouldn't
think
even
that
blame him.
shit. Da 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 da. Listen,
He's not
no
pragmatic.
one,
He's not pragmatic.
literally, no one can tell me that no United fan can say from the bottom of their heart that they're convinced of my man. He has
Yeah.
shown nothing to
Mm.
earn that trust, bro.
No, easily. And by the way, just go back on something with Garnacho and the players at United. Like I know
Yeah,
people or fans are getting mad at Garnacho for messing up a pass or not doing the right decision or whatever. They might call him brain dead. The problem is with Man United and like players like Hoyland that they have as well, where they get onto or maybe don't get onto enough, is that they
mm,
don't carve up enough opportunities or for players in scenarios enough for them to make those mistakes and not make them count. Because players are all going to make mistakes and players are going to have these chances where they mess them up. Like that happens and that's meant to happen, yeah. Not everyone's going to hit it perfectly, yeah. But
mm,
Garnacho has made a lot of chances for them. He's made those runs on the channel. He done dirt against us in the cup. Like I think he's a good player who can punish teams on transitions, right? This is me just talking about Garnacho on the side note. But the fact is that their coach and their system doesn't allow players to get enough opportunities. And we've had this issue before when we talked about it. It was the system, but also a player issue. But for them, they have players that could work, but the system is not in place for them to actually have those opportunities. And because that's
yeah,
the thing, I don't even, it doesn't even matter who they sign, bro. If they sign Rodrigo, I don't even think he would make a difference on left wing for them. Because I honestly think that system is so broken and the team is
mm,
so dysfunctional, it doesn't even matter. And
mm,
again, fans would argue it actually starts at the top with the Glazers and others. So look, as long as they have those issues, at the roots of the club, essentially, the whole plant is going to rot. And
yeah.
long may it rot. Long may it rot. Hopefully it does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is like I want to say a final point before we wrap it up.
Mm,
I actually started this window praising them because I thought they were going away from what they've been doing in previous years in terms of signing just these unknown, like unproven guys from abroad. So like
mm.
Anthony,
Hoyland.
Hoyland, bro. There's so many. I can't. They've had the Van der Beeks in. They've had so many of
Yeah.
these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ahmad. Ahmad's been okay. He's
Ahmad's
been
been
okay.
good. Ahmad's been
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
But bro, I thought okay, they're looking at Cunha, they're looking at Embuemo. This is
Which they wrapped up
already,
early. Yeah.
yeah, like this is they're going for Premier
Improvement.
League
It's massive.
proven,
Yeah.
yeah. But bro, the way that they're going about these signings is they've lingered it so long that it's not even, bro. It's like okay, even if you get Embuemo now, bro, you've made two signings. You finished 15th. You lost a final to Tottenham. You need, as Ragnick said, they need heart surgery, bro. Open heart
Yeah.
surgery, bro. They need to
Yeah.
gut that
Honestly.
team. And one thing I said, and we had the falling out with Hussey about this, yeah, we had a big
Mm,
dispute, is bro, £100 million for 30-year-old Bruno Fernandes early in the window, yeah, where you're
mm,
struggling to make sales. I know he's your best player, I know he's your talisman, yeah, but
mm,
bro, you need a rebuild. You have so many signings you need to make, yeah, bro.
mm.
£100 million for a 30-year-old, that's a lot of money you can do with that, and there's a lot of things you can
True.
do with that, man.
But to play devil's advocate, which why some fans will say like we don't care about the 100 mil, it's because
Yeah.
Man United spend money anyway. The thing is though, where they spend money, they spend big money on players, on like one or two players. Like they bought Anthony for like 90 mil. Like you don't need a 90 mil Anthony. You need two players for 40 mil. That's what you need. They need numbers and need quality. So they could sell Fernandez, get 50 mil. The Glazers will pocket that and buy maybe one other player, but they won't replace a
It
player.
was 100 mil
Fernandez.
though. Then. It was
I know it's
100.
100 mil, but would they replace Fernandez with a player or two of quality? I wouldn't trust them to do it. So I understand why fans wouldn't want that. So, but again, he's aging, and the smart move would be to sell for 100. The smart move is that, but I see the other side of saying no, I don't trust my club to do it
Yeah.
and to
That's
to
Hussey,
to fill that.
exactly what Hussey said. To be honest, he said the
Yeah,
exact
so I definitely get that sort of idea of it. But they need a rebuild,
yeah.
man, like you say. I was gonna say, by the way, before we wrap up, are we gonna touch
Yeah.
on City? Because I don't really know if City's done
Oh
much,
yeah,
to be honest.
fuck yeah. The thing is, City, they done so much of their transfers so
Last
early.
season,
So they
yeah.
done.
Oh,
Obviously, they signed in January. They signed that Guido, but I don't even remember his name. They signed so many people. That guy from Porto, the
Marmoush.
CDM, they signed him for
Mm,
like 50, 60 mil. They signed Marmoush. They signed
yeah.
the Uzbeki centre back. I forgot his
Ahmedov
name.
or whatever it was. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't. I forgot his name. I don't think it's
yeah.
Ahmedov, but
Um,
Kushinov,
yeah,
Kushov,
Kushmanov, that's the one. Yeah,
Kushinov.
him.
Yeah.
Um, bro, they signed so many players. I can't remember.
They signed that
Oh,
midfielder, the
they
Spanish
signed
guy.
Rice as well, the highly rated Brazilian centre back from Palmeiras. They signed him for that.
Yes.
Reese, I think his name is Rice. Reese, I can't
Yeah,
remember his name.
yeah. Ruiz, I think.
Um,
Yeah.
they've signed in this summer. They signed Ait Nuri. They signed Shirky, Reinders.
Yeah, true. They did. They did sign some good players, to be honest.
Bro, they signed but yeah, they got their
And
business.
Rodriguez. Yeah.
But
And Rodriguez
the
coming
thing,
back, of course.
oh, of course, yeah, Rodri. The thing that they really need and they're linked with heavily, um, which maybe actually thinking about Newcastle might be open to, is Livramento. They really need a right back because obviously Walker
Mm.
went to Burnley now.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And that's been a problem since maybe even the year they beat us to the league. Walker was not great, but they got away with it. But
They
last
got
year
with yeah.
he fell off a cliff.
Cliff. Yeah.
And Rico Lewis is just not good enough. He's a good
He's
stopper.
squad fodder. Who's the
Yeah,
left wing options now? Who do they have? They
they
have
got
that
Greedish, who's
Dutch
on his way out.
Grealish. Yeah, he's not
Doku.
playing. Doku, that's it.
Who else
That's
is there?
mainly it, isn't it? Marmoush doesn't play off the left, does
Oh,
he?
he
He
does.
plays,
Yeah, Marmoush. Yeah,
does he?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's the one.
Well, Grealish, where's Grealish gonna go? That's an interesting
They're
player.
saying loan wages way too high, transfer fees too high. They're gonna
Hmm.
probably loan him out somewhere. So yeah,
Who knows? Maybe a northern club in the Premier
yeah,
League. I
maybe.
can see that happen.
But yeah, man, City is a bit better. It's a bit boring to talk about them if I'm honest, because
Yeah, they can
yeah,
just buy everyone.
literally.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
man, I think we've covered everything that we need to cover. Zain, thank you, and you've had a wonderful debut, if you don't mind me
thank you
saying.
very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
And yeah, guys, we promise you that we'll be a lot more consistent now with our recordings. Obviously, you've got Zain on board now. Hopefully, you'll be free to join whenever he's available. And yeah, man, hopefully next week, maybe Monday-ish, we'll drop a new episode. And
Hopefully,
yeah,
man. Let's do it.
like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace.